Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. And I put that on my moms, yo. And I put this on my moms, yo. And I put this on my moms, nigga. And I put that on my moms. Tell me who you want besides me. Tell me who you wanna be, King's little wifey. Tell me who's the one who changed the game, arranged the frame, motherfucking man. We want me. Tell me who you want besides me. Tell me who you wanna be, King's little wifey. Tell me who's the one who changed the game, arranged the frame, who's sitting on top. Please remind me. That young nigga from the East Coast. Never smoked, but I'm trying to get lit like the weed roll. Y'all shooting bricks while I'm shooting Swiss. And I never take a miss like LeBron shooting free throws.
Alright, you guys, this is Tell Your Mom to Lick, and I am finally back with a new video. This time it will be on Madden NFL football and how the graphics have transformed over the years. As I was making this video, I started to realize, man, there are so many Maddens that have come out in the past couple of years, just because it is an annual release, that it's going to be hard to cram everything into one video. So I chose a different approach on this one. The approach that I chose is to include Madden 06 all the way to Madden 25, which would technically be 14, but 25 was the 25th anniversary. And I want to show you guys how far the graphics have come over the years. This is not necessarily about the gameplay of Madden over the years. I know that we're just getting over the Madden 20 tournament. A lot of people saw that. A lot of people were very disappointed. There was a player in the tournament called Joke, and of course he made Madden look like a joke, and he ran the ball the whole time down everybody's throats. Nobody could do anything about it, whether you're getting in goal line, engage 8, 3-4, 4-3, bear defense. It did not matter against a guy of his stature. He already knew all the cheats to win the game. So this one is just mainly about the graphical fidelity of Madden. As you can see right here, this is Madden on the PS2, Madden 06. And soon we are going to be getting into Madden 06 on the Xbox 360 and the bombshell that EA dropped on all of us as loyal fanboys of this game. Now, as you can see here, this is the official Madden 06 trailer. You see Donovan McNabb, you're going to see Strahan in this. You are going to see Terrell Owens in this also. And this is what they showed us back at E3 back in 2005 of what Madden was going to look like in the future generations. As you can see, McNabb is throwing it deep to Terrell Owens, and Terrell Owens is going to make some crazy, ridiculous catch for the TD, and he's going to do the classic Terrell Owens dance. This is what we were sold on by EA for the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360. And as you can see now on the screen, this is what we got. Now, I don't necessarily have a problem with these graphics, but just before I showed you guys what the PlayStation 2 looks like. The PlayStation 2 had good graphics, very cartoony, old style, and now you're seeing Madden 06 on the Xbox 360. You're seeing it in the rain. You're seeing 97 do a high step into the end zone, scoring a touchdown. Doesn't look like he did a celebration in this one, but this is the graphical fidelity that we got. And I would say that this is, of course, a good leap. You can definitely notice the difference, but if I'm being completely honest and completely real with you, anytime you're going from 480p to 720p to 1080p, you are going to obviously see a pretty big difference. The main thing in Madden 06, they did decide to strip the game down and kind of build it up from there. They did have pretty high goals, pretty high aspirations. Everybody talks about NFL 2K5. Well, this is Madden 06 on the Xbox 360. The PlayStation 3, unfortunately, did not get a release this particular year because the PlayStation 3 decided that it was going to come out a year after the Xbox 360. But man, I gotta tell you, back in the day when you did see this, you definitely thought to yourself, man, this is the future of football. This is Madden. This looks so realistic, and nothing will ever compare to the jump from the PlayStation 2 to the PlayStation 3 or the Xbox to the Xbox 360, in my personal opinion. Now what we are looking at is Madden NFL 07. Now, you can definitely see a difference between the 06 version versus the 07 version, especially if you are looking at Terrell Owens. But one thing that you do need to realize is that it does not look like the E3 trailer that we got for this video game. It just doesn't. Okay, so we just have to get that out the door first and foremost. Now what this does look like is a upgrade to Madden NFL 06, as they're starting to learn the architecture of the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3. They're getting more in tune with how to utilize each and every system. So as we look at this one, we are looking at a kickoff right now. Obviously, the animations are loads better, and you're seeing better tackling, things along that nature, better AI. But once again, we are focusing on the graphics. As you can see, the play calling screen looks the same as it did pretty much the year before in this one. Looking at the zoom in shots, they're trying to show off the graphics more by showing the quarterback walk up to the line of scrimmage, looking out onward, observing the field. They're just trying to show how good their product is. So far, there isn't any true disappointment. Like I said, we did get what we bargained for in those next generation consoles. Everything clearly looked better. Anybody that looks at you and says, well, the PlayStation 2 version looks a lot better than, they're completely lying to themselves. This is clearly above and beyond better graphically, but this is not what was initially sold to us in that E3 trailer. When we look at Madden, we do look at a history of the marketing team being able to pull a ploy over its loyal fan base, and that just happened to be the case. So as we look at this game, it's definitely not what we saw. We were happy to get Madden, but let's just try to look at the actual reality of the situation here. For the Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, not a lot of people got those in the first year or two. They were still playing the old school Madden on the PlayStation 2 and the Xbox, even the Nintendo at this time. So not many people had graduated to make the jump over to this new style Madden. Now obviously this new style Madden looks better, but it's still bare bones. They definitely have to rely on the graphics as a selling point, but this isn't necessarily a household Madden. I mean, you can go around and ask people how many people owned Madden 07 or 06 on the Xbox 360. Not many people do, and if they did, not too many people had fond memories of that over the PlayStation 2 version, which pales into comparison of the graphics. Anybody can remember the absolutely horrid commentary that we had to get put through, but that's neither here nor there. Now we are obviously looking at Madden 08, and now we're starting to see Madden kind of get into a groove of things and understanding the technology at hand a little bit more. You see the players moving a bit more smoothly, and then from there you see another Terrell Owens shot, and then you're seeing a running back run up the gut, and the game just looks honestly better than 06 and 07 for obvious reasons. This is definitely the PlayStation 3 version where they're getting the hang of things as they are supposed to as developers of Madden. The graphical fidelity, the sidelines, everything just looks better when we're looking at this version of Madden. So you're not seeing any lies from EA from improving the graphical ability of Madden at this point, at this juncture in time. But when we start to move a little bit forward and get to the later titles, that's where things start to get blurred. You do see that individual players do have certain traits, like if you're very good at catching the ball, if you have good instincts, if you're a hard hitter, things along that nature. You do start to see that if you are elusive also, or if you're a trucking back, that was incorporated into Madden. And this was the first Madden where it really started to trickle into more of the mainstream house sales for the next generation. Everybody said, well, Madden 08 is a true generational step when we do look at this game on both of the consoles. I never owned Madden 08 for the Xbox 360 or PlayStation 3. The game that I did own is Madden 09. Madden 09 was my first taste of Madden on those next generation consoles, and you'll see it right here. We're looking at the trailer, 20 years of innovation. You can see the hits. They claimed that this would be the first game to adapt to you. And this to me is when I first saw the true jump. Now, if you compare Madden 09 graphics to Madden 06 graphics, keep in mind they're part of the same console. You will be pushed back. You will be blown away. This one was the first one where I said, this is just the true next step. I mean, the game just looks gorgeous. 720p, 1080p, played like a charm, and this was a good game for me to get. I had always had the Maddens, but I had them on the PlayStation 2 all the way up until 2009, until I got that PlayStation 3. This overall was a good experience. The graphics, the lighting, I know looks a bit odd at times, a little bit darker, like we're looking at some kind of Zack Snyder movie. But the graphics to me is something that I always loved and I always fondly look back on. My PlayStation 3 did not die after 10 years of owning it. I would definitely be playing Madden 09 today. I just like how the game came off, the graphics, the engine, how the weather used to affect everything. It was just a good game overall. But you see how far they came. It takes Madden or any kind of sports game about 2 to 3 years to kind of come into its own. The first title is typically always a bare bone looking title. Then the next title is a step above that. And then once you start to get to the next two titles, it starts to look a load better. So that is definitely something that I enjoy paying attention to over the years here. So like you see, Madden NFL 09, no issues with this one whatsoever. Like I said, as the graphical fidelity starts to improve over the years, we'll get more and more into what we are seeing today. And like I did say to you guys, we are going to be looking at Madden 06 all the way up to Madden 25 on this one. We are looking at the trailer for Madden 09 because I feel that it does show off the graphics a little bit better on this one as opposed to just the gameplay footage. So now we're stepping into the next territory of the Madden NFL 12. Now I know what a lot of you guys are thinking on this one. Well, if you're doing Madden 06 to Madden 25, wouldn't it make sense to include Madden 10 or Madden 11 to this list? I thought about that long and hard as I was making this video, and it definitely was going to make this video a lot longer than it needed to be. I didn't want to stretch it out that much. Madden 10, Madden 11 honestly did not add too much to the plate for me as a player. If you're talking about what were the best pure graphics on the PlayStation 2 or the Xbox 360, I'm sorry, not the PlayStation 2, but the PS3 and the Xbox 360, then you're definitely looking at Madden 12. Now, a lot of you guys are wondering, well, why would you say that Madden 12 is the best looking Madden on that generation of consoles. Well, if you play Madden 13 and Madden 25, it would be something that you would easily be able to see regarding this one. Madden 13 and 25 incorporated that Infinity engine that some people hated at the time, that a lot of people loved at the time because it was pushing the mold. But that's what it did. They incorporated that, and anybody who knows anything about gaming knows that as soon as you add physics to a particular console video game, that the graphics do take a step down. So this would leave us with Madden 12 as the best graphical looking as a part of the prior generation. I don't have any issues with Madden 12. It was a great looking game. Congrats to Peyton Hillis for getting on the cover of that game, since nobody wanted Vic to be on the cover for the dog fighting issues, things along that nature. I completely understand it. Vic was the Eagle, comeback player of the year. He was balling out. Now we're looking at Madden 13. I really did like Madden 13. If I am looking back on the consoles of the previous generation, I liked Madden 09 a lot. I did like 13 a lot because, damn it, they finally added a physics system. You're looking at, let's take for example Grand Theft Auto 4. Grand Theft Auto 4 came out in 2008, and that had physics, and we were in Madden 12 and Madden didn't have any physics. I always felt that it was odd, but now we finally got some good physics in the game, and as you can see, the graphics unfortunately did take a hit. They had to add the motion blur so it didn't look as obvious that the engine was taking a toll on the graphics. You can see in some of the faster scenes where the motion blur is incorporated. It was incorporated very strategically to cover that up. So that is a pretty interesting tidbit on that. But as you can see, Madden NFL 13 is a good Madden. The physics did need to be added. It did take back from the graphics, but we can't harbor on to just a graphical aspect for too long when it does come to video games. Sometimes you do have to get down to the nitty-gritty and start concerning yourself with the actual gameplay. But they did try their hardest to minimize it as much as possible by adding that motion blur. So that is something that can be supported through the years. You are starting to see that they are pushing the console essentially to its limits at this point, the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3. So they are at this point grasping at straws a little bit to squeeze as much as the graphics out of these individual systems towards the later years of their life cycle. So there's that. So now we are looking at Madden 25, the 25th anniversary of Madden. No big jump in graphics, as I explained earlier. This was kind of towards the end when you're talking about improving an annual video game on what is about to be considered a last gen console at this point, because a couple of months later they released Madden 25 on the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One, and that Madden graphically did improve, and we are going to definitely do a part 2 video discussing everything about that. So I want you guys to definitely stay tuned. I do hope that I was able to bring some further insight as we just go through Madden. Over the years, I think Madden is a very good and entertaining video game, but we will be getting into more of the lies of EA. We get another E3 trailer that is just not honest at all about what we will be getting this generation. We don't even get that on the Xbox One X, what they are about to show to us. So please, people, stay tuned, stay informed. I am glad that you did make it all the way through this video, and please support the channel. I will be making a comeback. I was able to make this video almost fairly quickly. But I do plan on taking my spot back in the YouTube game.
My nigga, this don't fucking find nobody like me. And I put that on my mind, show. Keeping it 100, that's a guarantee. And I put that on my mind, show. Run up on me, you'll get the whole team. And I put that on my mind, show. Shit, you been spinning, been so weak. And I put that on my mind, yo. On my mom's, yo. On my mom's, yo. And I put that on my mom's, yo. On my mom's, yo. On my mom's, yo. And I put that on my mom's, yo.